I've been employing illegal aliens ever since I moved here in 1991. Hundreds of them. I mean, everybody's illegal. Everyone's illegal. Now that as it really comes down to it, look at their paperwork. People don't have driver's licenses, or they don't have a passport, or they don't have the right little card that goes in their green card, or they don't have their citizenship. So what are we doing? There's 14 million people that were here long before the border opened.
So let's talk about your run for governor. That's what we're getting. So you say everybody in the world wants to be here.
I believe it.
In California.
Everybody wants to be in California.
There certainly was a time.
If someone tells you that they don't want to be here, they're lying.
There certainly was a time when that was true.
Ask them why they left.
And it's no longer true.
When polled.
Yeah. So what's your big idea? What would you, as governor, what would be the first couple of things you would do?
I would definitely, if I were governor, I feel like I'm one of those beauty contests.
Yeah.
First of all, let me just say something about this gubernatorial run. I am terrified of that. But if somebody doesn't run that is way better at running things than me, then I will definitely do it. We need real leadership and real management.
Well, I always point to Rick Caruso, who showed you, people like to say when the Pacific Palisades fire happened, people go, well, there's nothing they could do. Well, Rick Caruso actually showed you, if you had a fire department, they could have put out the fire, because he has a big mall in the middle of the Pacific Palisades. Not one of his buildings burnt down or caught fire because he had a fire department that he hired himself. So that means it's doable. So that means that if we just had enough resources, we could fight this fire, and we could say, and so this idea that you can't do anything is bullshit. And so, all right. So I like
Rick.
So he knows how to get things done.
He not only does he know how to get things done, he's mindful. He's been in California his whole life. He has a deep connection to his Spanish roots. He employs a lot of people, and he signs the front of a paycheck. He's an incredible candidate, but he's also, don't kid yourself. That is a big loss for him. And he's got.
Is he going to run, you think?
I don't know. And I wouldn't blame him if he didn't, because he knows the system is rigged against him because of the mayoral run. He should have been the mayor. And the whole Karen Bass thing is just such a scam. And
do you think those fires would have happened like in the way they happened if he was mayor?
I think they would have happened, but I think that we would have had, first of all, I think that we would have had a fire department there. I think the bigger problem for our firefighters who were there, and I want to say something also about that. People can talk about these fires. Okay, 29 people died. The fire department did the most unbelievable job. Like, they should have a monument in evacuations. Okay. They focused on what was important. And there was no resources for them. They had fire hydrants that wouldn't even come on.
That's right.
Not enough people and no water, but they got everybody out, and they did an unbelievable job. My hat goes off to them. And I also want to say, when Army Corps showed up to work, DWP was there, Southern California Gas, and all the gas companies and the contractors, and they killed it. They worked day and night. They shut down PCH. I know people were upset. I'm sorry to everybody that was upset.
Yeah.
But they put in all new infrastructure. They got everything up and running in record time. And they worked overtime beyond. They were working, say 80 hours a week.
Okay.
So let's not, I do think that Rick Caruso is probably a viable candidate. I don't believe that he's going to run, and I'll tell you why. I think that he realizes he's got his work cut out for him to get his town and something that's important to him back on its feet. He is so invested. He's the most invested person up there. It is not a small number. I'm sure he went hard on his money, and I'm sure he's taking this very, very seriously about rebuilding that particular bucket of business for himself. I also don't think that I haven't seen anybody else that's running. Hilton's out there. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I don't think that sheriff is going to be able to do it. I don't think Kamala Harris is going to run. I don't think Villaraigosa should have a chance at it.
So who do you think? So Gavin can't run because he's being term limited out. So it can't be Gavin Newsom.
Again, I don't know. Rick Gurnell's talked about it. Myself.
So if you run, our favorite undercover billionaire. Tell us what are some of the things. So you would just be better at you would.
Well, I think it's very important that I'm not a staunch Democrat at all. I used to be a Democrat, but my party became the war party, and I'm done with that. I'm over that. Right. I want the border to be completely managed by the federal government. I think it's completely and totally ridiculous that we think we can manage that. Also,
does the state manage the
well,
border?
they try. I mean, look what we do. Like, we allow it to be open. I mean, at the end of the day, you could see the difference between the way Texas ran their border during the Biden administration and the way we ran ours. Okay. That's all. Do you need any more evidence?
Okay.
Because I can give you more evidence.
All right. I thought the feds handled the border.
They try real hard, but it doesn't work if your management of the state is butting heads with you, like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are. This is ridiculous. They're upset National Guard came. Kiss the boots. Are you kidding? Every single time someone gets mad, they burn something down. They do a smash and grab, steal everything, take the Adidas, and everyone's like, oh, what happened? I'm really glad that we had National Guard. Number one. Number two, we have to make a legal path for immigration. This is ridiculous.
Well, Trump's talking about amnesty.
I don't even know if I can run for governor. I've been employing illegal aliens ever since I moved here in 1991. Hundreds of them. I mean, everybody's illegal. Everyone's illegal. Now that as it really comes down to it, look at their paperwork. People don't have driver's licenses, or they don't have a passport, or they don't have the right little card that goes in their green card, or they don't have their citizenship. So what are we doing? There's 14 million people that were here long before the border opened. I say every single person that runs a business, big and small, you sponsor the people that work for you, period. End of story. And we give them an ollie come free. If they've got employees that have been working for this long, they get this long to be legal. If it's been this long, they get an automatic pass. We take care of the people that are in this state that are working. We pay them a fair wage, and we let them work legally. You can't let someone come in the state, tell them it's going to be 7 years until they can be here legally, and then tell them they can't work legally. Because then when it is time for them to be here legally, they've been working 7 years illegally. Okay. It's not fair. That's the first thing, a work program, workforce housing. Why do we keep calling low-income housing? Why can't we have workforce housing? Why can't we get big companies to come here and build housing and do training programs? And why doesn't the California Lottery put shops back into school? Why don't we have wood shop, metal shop? Why don't we have home economics? Why don't we teach people how to balance a checkbook? Why are people fiscally illiterate?
I'm 100% with you on
We
all
are
that.
wrong on all of these things. We missed the boat. You know why? Because we have all these little NGOs in the middle. Why is the high-speed rail not done? For God's sakes. Look, they hired the greatest contractor in the United States. I know him personally. He is unbelievable. There is no world that guy screwed it up. Okay?
Right.
Not interested. He would totally, you give him a job and it is done. The problem is you get the money and then you give half the money to build the rail and you give the other half to all the people to fight the rail.
Yeah.
NGOs fighting rail. So now we have this big messed up pile of junk all the way down. Nothing's done. It's not usable. And we need it. Imagine if you could go to Visalia and Bakersfield and all these places and you could have a train to take you back and forth from work.
Yeah.
Imagine that you could have a town in the middle of nowhere because you have transportation. It's ridiculous that we don't need it. It is the greatest thing ever. High-speed rail? No, can't have it because why? We got to pay people to fight it. And I'm sorry, we need to get absolutely positively rid of all the NGOs. They all got to go. They all got to go. You can't have special interests like that. And then we've got to work out how is it we don't have voter ID? What do you mean? You got to have ID to go to do anything.
It's racist.
It is not racist. That is not true. It is racist to not have voter ID.
Don't
you know what you're saying?
People of color don't know how to get IDs. Don't you know that?
I think it's racist. I think it's racist to not have voter ID.
Of course it is. It's racist to say that people of color aren't able to get an ID. You have to have an ID to rent a car, to go to a hotel, to get on an airplane, to buy
Donald
liquor.
Trump.
You have
He's
to
like, turn the water back on and we need voter ID. I'm like, okay.
So, I mean, we're one of the only places in the world that doesn't require an identification. So but that's what they call everything racist, just like now the Trump administration calls everything anti-Semitic. So it's, of course, even though it's not. But anyway, I hope you run. It'll be exciting.
Well, ULA would be gone. It would be abolished. I would have a special election. That thing is going.
ULA?
No, yes.
What is ULA?
ULA is the mansion tax.
Oh, that's what it's called.
And then property tax needs to be used for what it's supposed to be used for, with nothing in between. It's for fire. It's for police. It's for schools. And it's for infrastructure in your roads.
Hey, is that reservoir that's above the Pacific Palisades?
No, it is not fixed.
Is it? Did they fill it yet?
No, they haven't done anything.
Did anything happen with that woman? I think her name is Jessica Quinones. She's the one who closed it down a year ago.
She was the head of the water department.
Yeah, I've never heard anything about
never heard
her.
From
She's
her.
never come forward to talk about her mistake that cost trillions of dollars.
And
The problem is every single person that's in a high position in government only have the power to say no, not the power to say yes. And if you put everybody around you with only the power to say no.
so, we passed a proposition, I think it was Proposition 1 in 2015, and it allocated $6 billion to build new reservoirs. So because it doesn't rain often in Southern California, but when it does, it really rains, and we should be capturing that water. Like we had 2 years of really heavy rains, flooding everywhere, and they didn't. So we passed this thing over 10 years ago to build reservoirs to capture that water. Not only did they haven't even started building not one of those reservoirs, and the extra rainwater that fell, they just released it into the ocean. So the reservoirs we do have overflowed, so they have to open them, and so so all that rainwater. So that would be the first thing I would do if I was governor. I would make sure we started building those reservoirs that the people already voted on and they wanted over 10 years ago.
So there's this really amazing mayor in Fresno, California. His name's Jerry Dyer. Shout out to Jerry Dyer, and he's one of probably the most impressive people that understands the water problems up there. First of all, he's in a farming district. And what Trump said about turning the water back on was right on. It's more complicated than that. We have to be careful about flooding because the problem is all the infrastructure that would hold that water is also dilapidated and not taken care of. But there's this big push and pull between like grape and wine country, and wine business is really bad right now, and farmers down in the Central Valley, which provide 80% of the produce across the United States. This should be our priority, our farmers. We don't take care of them, and they need water. But, there's a bunch of other things that have to happen. You've got to have transportation and supply chain. Railroad needs to be able to move so that you can move food. You've got to have workforce housing so that people can live there and they can farm. You've got to have water so that they can water their farms. There's 1,000 things that need to happen in farming. And these farm bills don't take care of the small farmer. We have 88,000 farmers in California. Okay. They reap 2% of the yield. It goes to the big farmers.
Right.
And they compost 25 to 50% of what they grow. I mean, think about that. They throw food away. And then you have all these regulations. We're trying to SNAP is corrupted. Bobby Kennedy, thank God for Bobby Kennedy. If we could just put SNAP in fulfillment centers, and if it was just by small farming, if we just took SNAP away from big, huge, giant conglomerates and we let small farming provide good food, then they would have the business and it would be subsidized. And it's all backwards. And Bobby gets it. And the reason to be governor now is because Bobby Kennedy. Think of all the things you can fix. You can fix Medicare. You can fix all of the parasites and the fumigation and everything that they put on the farming. You can fix the water problem. He's the river master. I mean, there's a great reason to be governor if these people are people you want to deal with. But our governor and our mayor don't want anything to do with them. So we're not in the conversation. We get no federal funding. We get no federal conversations. We don't get anything. And then behind it, what do? We sue him. And everybody's upset about Bobby Kennedy. He's going to get the last word. I am sick of it. That guy that is ridiculous. What are people? Oh, this vaccine thing. Oh, he's going to. Please let him unravel it. Everybody's been in office 120 days. Is it 120 days?
I guess.
They have gotten more done in 120 days than two decades.
I do think so. Bobby Kennedy's getting it from both ends. He's getting it from the corporations and he's getting it from the Maha that want him to move faster. But he has to. I think it's the one and only bright spot in the Trump administration, I think, is the HHS. And, they're not moving fast enough for my taste either, but he has to do it methodically or there's going to be these lawsuits. And so when these lawsuits come up, which they now are, there's 6 giant lawsuits now against him over the vaccine testing. He has to have his ducks in a row and be able to win that case.
He has his ducks in a row. That case
when they come up, so
ready.
he has to get out there anyway. So that's a whole nother segment. But listen, Elaine, we got to go. I have another guest. I'm late. I'm overdue.
Oh, I hate to go. Okay, I love you though. Thank you for this.
Thank you for coming in,
I
Elaine.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for your plan. I hope you get it implemented. If anybody could get it implemented, it's you. Again, good luck to you. Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Toronto, Red Bank, New Jersey, Northampton, Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire, Oxnard, California, Rutherford, New Jersey, New York, Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.